Okay, so recently I have been thinking a lot about manifestation because I'm putting out some meditations involving manifestation. And I'm realizing, and I've been actually thinking about this for a while, but I have been personally going through something where I haven't been, I guess, really actively manifesting, I think, to the highest potential that I could, because I'm afraid to make a choice about what I want to manifest. And in a way, I do think it's because I'm pretty happy, but I'm like, I could be happier, I could be a lot happier. And then I think about, well, why am I afraid to choose something to manifest? There's a few reasons why. It could be either I don't trust my own decision making, or, well, I guess the first one is I'm genuinely happy and I just don't want anything else right now. Like, I'm good. So there's that option. There's that I don't trust my decision making. Another option that I feel like it could be is that maybe, is it that I don't think I'm worth it? Like, that I don't think I'm worth it, or that, I don't know, I guess maybe I'm just worried that I might manifest the wrong thing for me. So I guess I just need to go a little bit more broad and say, just giving I really do think it all comes back to just giving gratitude, especially when you're in the position that I'm in right now. It's just giving gratitude, I think, is probably the best thing for me to do. Giving gratitude, A, and B, I'm maybe just being really kind of broad about stuff and general, and saying like, I'm asking for, it's not even that. I'm a little rusty. I guess I'm rusty because I haven't been manifesting shit. Just to say, I attract what is of the greatest good for me and serving my purpose on this earth. Yeah. I attract the people, places, and results that will be, or I attract the people, places that are of the greatest good for me and the greater good of the world. I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. And, just to say too, oh, that's so dark to get into. I feel like I should just say it. So my mom got sick with a pretty nasty disease and she died. And I'm trying to be kind of like, when I say this, and I might seem like I'm lacking emotion or something when I say it, I'm just trying to be as matter of fact as possible about how this happened. But my mom, I guess I'll just start from here. I, at one point, was manifesting that I wanted to have enough money to take care of my mom when she, and this was when she was well. She was well at this time, and I was manifesting that I wanted to have enough money to take care of her. And so then she got sick 3 to 4 months later. I just thought that for a while it was my fault almost, because when I was manifesting, I was doing this visualization and I had this visual of her in my head, of her being sick. And I felt like for a while maybe I had manifested her being sick. And I recently actually talked through this with one of my friends who's really spiritual, and we came to the conclusion, he reflected it back to me, that I probably just knew that she was sick, because realistically she was sick before that even happened. It was like, but we just didn't know. We didn't know. And so she started experiencing all this stuff like homelessness and trouble keeping a job. And I think it was because she was sick. We just didn't know, and her doctors didn't know, and all of this stuff. So, trauma dump. But what I'm saying is, I guess sometimes manifestation, when you feel like you can really do it and you feel like it's worked for you, because it's worked for me in the past, I've always felt like I'm powerful in this way, it can be just, I don't know, a little scary. I'm feeling overwhelmed by it right now. And I don't think that I manifested that. And especially after the other night, the only reason I can say this without crying or breaking down is because I had this conversation with my friend the other night and I came to this conclusion. So I didn't know that I was going to say that when I started this video, but we'll see if I put this out. Very vulnerable. Very vulnerable. Anyway, manifesting money and stuff, right? Well, this helped me have a little brain dump about what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just have some more, I guess, airy, breathy meditations. And this word keeps coming up for me is just trust. And it's something that I actually worked on when I was in therapy a little, was just trusting. And I was in a relationship and it was coming up like, okay, you just need to trust. And so I think that's the big lesson for me right now, is to just give gratitude for where I'm at, trust in the process, and affirm that the universe is looking out for my greater good. And then just trust when you go along for the ride, because I feel like if you say something like that, like, go ahead, universe, pop off and do your thing and give me the signs, and I will trust you and I will roll with the punches. It's like you're on a roller coaster. I'm excited though. I'm kind of excited for that. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good chat. Good chat. Burn some Palo Santo. I'm going to work on this ancestor meditation. Now and then I think of all the times you screwed me over, but I may believe that it was always something that I'd done. I don't want to live that way, reading into every word you say. I said that you could let it go, and I wouldn't get you hung up on somebody that you used to know. Another thing that I wanted to briefly touch upon is something I've been feeling for a while. Is they say that the full moon is a good time to release things that are no longer serving you. And then the new moon is a good time to be manifesting new beginnings. But I feel always on the full moon more in a mood to manifest. And on the new moon, I'm more feeling like letting things go. It's more low energy, which is interesting. And I wonder if it has to do with my own personal hormonal cycle, because that must be it, because I'm generally ovulating during the full moon, and my period's usually starting on the new moon. So maybe that's why. I wonder if, as women, because we have the moon and then we have our internal moon, our internal cycle, if it would be more wise to manifest and release according to where we're personally at. So that's interesting. Maybe I'll give that a little research at some point and bring it into the moon cycle meditations that I'm working on. I'm excited to be sharing all my stuff that I've been coming up with and creating and affirming, and I'm super excited, and it's a little overwhelming sometimes. I just have so many ideas, and just to like all my ideas are here, and just to grab them and fucking do something with them, and I get so distracted, and that was probably not a really cute angle. I get so distracted and by everyday life and wanting to experience joy and pleasure and making the money that I'm already making, and then focusing on this project and feeling all my feelings and being with Coco and being with my family, cleaning, doing my dishes, doing my laundry. It's like, where the fuck does the time go? And then scrolling is definitely a big one that I really want to stop doing. It sucks me in, dog. I've been a little scroll addict for way too long in my life. Way too long. I think that's so huge. Talking about manifestation too, we can manifest all we want, but if we don't have that part where we're changing our habits and putting it into real world action, then I think you'll feel it though, because if you're manifesting something hard enough, you start to really want it, and then you change your habits. But that's all you can do, is change your habits, and you can't want it too badly, and you have to detach, which I think detachament's probably the hardest part when you're manifesting, is actually detaching from the outcome and detaching from the process and the outcome and the obsession of something. If you're trying to manifest something, you might be obsessing over it so hard that you're driving it away. And I think as humans, that's such a hard thing for us to understand. And especially when you do feel that, like manifesting, and then you're just obsessing over something. You have to detach. You have to work on what you can work on. Get out of your head, be in the present moment, and stop dwelling mentally. You need to get into your body, into the physical doing of things, and get out of your head and the obsession and the rumination, and just trust that whatever you're doing is going to work for you, and take care of your body, of course. I feel happy. My weed habit is so hard to kick, low key, high key. And sometimes I'm just like, what if I'm just meant to smoke weed? What if I'm just meant to? What if God just gave us this gift of weed because we're meant to smoke it? I love it. I love smoking. I love getting high. It feels so amazing. It's like chill, sis, you know? Like sober is obviously the most perfect state. I think sober is the most perfect state. To get high, get high, get high, get high. It's probably just because I'm a little weed fiend, Palo Santo fiend, scroll addict, dopamine fiend. That's really what it is. A little dopamine fiend. Gosh, this video has been, you want authentic, you want genuine, you want trauma dump. We're here for it all. Here I go. Bye. I just ended that video and then I was like, wait, I actually really need to insert this because I was sitting here and thinking, what was I doing? Oh, I was just looking through, I have all these affirmations. Let me look at this real quick and make sure that that was an okay thing to flash. And I was just sitting here and thinking, and so that thing about my mom, that was, I think the most important thing to note about that is that I actually did end up having enough money to take care of my mom when she got sick. It wasn't in the way that I thought it was because she ended up in the hospital, and thanks to Medicare, you probably should know. Medicaid, I think she was in the hospital, but I was fortunate enough that I actually got to stay in Vermont. I live here in LA, but I got to stay in Vermont from the time that I found out she was sick until the time she passed, which was a couple months. And I actually had all the blessings and all the resources in order. And it's crazy because, like I said, just a couple months before, I had been manifesting that I could take care of her. And in my mind, I thought that meant, you know, I guess I was thinking 100 grand in savings and a place, 2-bedroom that I could have her at, in a job where I could be working and all of that, where I was taking care of her. But anyway, I stayed in Vermont. My friend let me stay at her place near the hospital, and I just worked as much as I could and put everything I could on a credit card, and I just stayed. And so it's like I did actually end up, and it didn't put me in a crazy amount of debt. I figured it out. So it was like I was manifesting something that I probably already had at the time, not knowing it. I think I already had pretty much all those things in line, and maybe I didn't. Maybe I made some of them happen in those 4 months, but I think really it happened, and I had what I needed to take care of her. So it's just funny how things work out, even if you don't, it's not in the way that you were expecting.